Margins for clothing brands are extremely tight, which is why you need to make sure you know every single one of your costs inside out. One way your margin can just disappear with a brand is if you're overpaying for shipping. Now, taking my brand Frost for an example, we're based in the UK. I don't manufacture in the UK because I haven't found one who's a good price and actually good quality. So I currently get all my stuff produced in China. Now, when you find a manufacturer in China, you obviously pay for the goods, but they do also offer shipping. But you should never, I repeat, never accept their shipping unless it's for a sample and you need it ASAP. The reason you shouldn't accept their shipping is because they're going to overcharge you by about 4 times. Because at the end of the day, they specialise in making clothes, not shipping stuff across the world. Let's take, for example, I'm importing 50 kilos of t-shirts and I get a quote from my manufacturer. Usually it'll be by air, and that quote will probably be in the region of $1,200 US. Now, if I use a freight forwarder, which is a separate company who just specialise in sending stuff across the world, you're going to get it much cheaper. So for 50 kilograms, you get quoted 1.2k by your manufacturer. By your freight forwarder, you're probably going to get closer to $300. Which is pretty much night and day. And you've saved yourself a lot of dough for the exact same thing. When you're shipping, you've got 3 options really. You've got air, you've got land, and you've got sea. Air is the most expensive, but the fastest. Land is sort of in the middle when you've got 2 options. You've got by truck or you've got by train. And then sea is the slowest, but by far the cheapest, which is obviously sea freight. Time frames for my goods to get from China to me at the moment, on average, air is about 10 days. In the middle, by truck is around 30 to 40 days. And then by the sea, it's between 55 and 60 days. At the moment, I use air and occasionally truck, depending if the Orange Tangerine Man has decided to start a war in the Middle East. And I do that because my collections aren't planned out a year in advance like the big fashion brands, because I'm not a big fashion brand yet. So I can't commit to stock I'm going to sell in about a year's time. And you're probably thinking, Charlie, how have you found your freight forwarder? Basically, you go on this website you've probably never heard about before. It's called Alibaba, but you go to the shipping section of it. I think they call it Alibaba Logistics to sound a little bit more professional. Basically, put in that you want to import from China to the UK there. It'll come up with loads of different companies. You message them all. You then compare the prices and then go with who you think's the best. But obviously, as I've said before, communication is a really, really big thing for me. So I'll pay a little bit more if the communication's good, which is what I currently do. I've currently got my windbreakers that should have been dropping literally the end of this month on the way from China now. But obviously, I'm going to have to push that back till mid-April now, which isn't ideal, but at the same time, isn't the end of the world. Not to mention, we have got a couple more tasty samples on the way. I'm not going to show you yet. I'm going to wait until they actually come in person. I will give you a little hint though. It does go on Ukrainian. I almost forgot as well. DDP. You need to ask for your freight forwarder to give you your quotes in DDP. DDP means direct duties paid. That means it's all one fee. All you do is pay the shipping once. Whereas if it's not DDP, you're going to get another message from, say, FedEx, UPS, or whoever they ship with that you've got taxes to pay on top. And them taxes stack up. I've had it once where I was importing sweatshirts, and the sweatshirts, I didn't know that the manufacturer sent them not with tax paid. So I had to pay another £200 on top of what I've already paid for shipping, which was extortionate because it was from the manufacturer anyway. So that basically just completely wiped out my margin. So make sure you ask it for DDP. Sorry, pal, I can't hear you. I'm locked in. Every week I like to give a little update. What I'm doing at the moment is leaning more into that streetwear page I'll run on TikTok, because the views seem to be consistent and the like ratio is very good. If I get 3,000 views on a video, most likely I'm getting about 350 likes, and I'm getting a really healthy amount of saves, like between 50 and 100, which shows it's a good video and people are going to come back to it because what I'm saying is actually worth some value. So every single day I'm making more of them. However, it is mind-numbing to do and I hate doing it, which is annoying, but we've got to get it done anyway. Another thing I'm doing as well is talk to camera on my personal page. Talk to camera is brilliant. I think it's really good. a lot of creators get away with doing like low production videos just on their iPhone. They aren't working for me. The high production ones, which take me about an hour to edit, are the ones that are doing well. So I'm trying to pump out one every single day about windbreakers or something you wouldn't know I'm selling at the beginning, because if you start a video going, I'm selling this, I think you should buy it, no one's going to buy it. But if I say, like the hook today was, windbreakers are overrated, is what I would say if I didn't know how to dress. And then the whole video is just basically a little bit of history on the windbreaker, why the windbreaker is good in the UK, and then recommendations for windbreakers, and then I recommend mine. That's going out today, so we'll see how it does. But I did another one on how Timothy Chalamet influenced me to make this jacket. That did okay. I mean, it got 70 likes. That for me is okay, but in the grand scheme of things, it is crap. But I can feel I'm on the cusp of something. We are still designing one new piece every day. I don't want to show you, however, I'm going to show you anyway. What we've got here is a striped polo. I don't even know if this is going to come out this year, to be honest, so I'll show you. It's got jacquard knit pinstripe. It's got a soft fold over collar here, embroidery on the neck, and also the front left chest. This is a jacquard knit as well, so it's seamless. It's not a print. White stitching, boxy fit, of course. It's the exact same fit as the t-shirts I sell. And, I mean, that's the best t-shirt on the planet, so we may as well make the best polo on the planet as well. I'm unsure on whether to actually get this sample because I don't know when I'd actually drop it. Because knowing me and going off previous drops, like this windbreaker drop was supposed to be out this Sunday. I've not even shot it yet, so it's coming out in 2 weeks' time. That delays everything else 2 weeks. And then I'm like, it could fit into the schedule if I'm dropping it in July. But then I've got another waffle long sleeve that I've already got sampled. And I need to make like a collection. But then I also don't want to make a collection because I want to drop pieces because collections are more expensive. There's a lot going on in my head. But one thing is for certain, whatever I say on this vlog, I will contradict myself on by saying a completely opposite thing next vlog. Finally, the jackets have been shipped from China. But I've got tracking from my freight forwarder this morning. And they're currently at Shenzhen Airport. But once again, we're cutting it quite close. Basically, air freight usually takes between 12 to 14 days. If I chose that sort of air freight, then it wouldn't be here in time when I'm doing the shoot, because the shoot is supposed to be Easter weekend, either Saturday or Sunday, probably Saturday. But as I've paid today, they'll be shipped tomorrow morning from China out the airport. So that leaves me with a shipment date, actual release of the 25th. Now, if we add 8 days onto the 25th, we get the 2nd of April. But it said between 8 to 12 days, so it could still be late. But I've taken a gamble and I've paid an extra $50 just to see if we can get it through. I don't usually do this because I'm usually not in a rush. But because of the delays with Chinese New Year and stuff like that, and the factory taking long and the fabric having to be replaced like 3 different times, I just want to get this out now. Because the idea for the marketing is so clear in my head, it needs to get out ASAP before I decide to change it. The TikToks have slowed down so much as well, especially on that streetwear page. I'm trying to mix it in and not include frost in every single one so people aren't on, so it's actually me running the account. Because I've done it on a couple before and I know whose account it is when they're running it. But the ones I seem to not put frost in are the ones that do better. But it doesn't really make sense because I don't have a shit product and I know I don't have a shit product. I wish there was a way of making a video that I knew of that could sit someone down and say, all the stuff you're buying from Uniqlo is actually plastic, mate. Like, you're going to be buying it 3 or 4 different times. Whereas if you just paid properly once for a t-shirt, that'd last you 10 times longer. But you can't just sit down and put information across the screen. From what I've found on TikTok, you have to make it somewhat engaging, because if you're not already an established figure who's done something in their industry, no one is going to listen to you. And to be fair, why would they? But at least maybe the 50 people that watch this can just know, check the composition of the fabric before you buy it. Because if it's a t-shirt like this and it's got plastic in it, you need to ask yourself, why has it got plastic in it? Why is it polyester? Certain garments, especially sportswear, are pretty much all polyester because it's more breathable. That's sort of the industry standard, is polyester. But having these poly blends in t-shirts and hoodies is cutting the corner, and people don't know it. They just think, oh, this is nice, I want something new. So they buy something new, they wear it once, landfill. As they say, buy cheap, buy twice. But in this case, it's not buy twice, it's buy about 5 or 6 times. And I think that is enough waffle from me this week. Next week, we've got the bulk landing, and then the vlog after that, it's just going to be a day in the life shooting it in the lakes. So if you're not subscribed already, make sure you subscribe. You do not want to miss that one. It's probably going to be one of my best ever. As always, if you did enjoy this vlog, please make sure you like and subscribe, because it does help me a lot more than you know. We upload every single Sunday at 6 p.m. Sometimes I upload during the week as well, but there's no promises on that. And as you know, we always end on a motivational quote, and this week's quote is the following. The most dangerous form of blindness is believing that your perspective is the only reality.